Hello and yes, welcome to another video with me, RockBoy680. Today I'm going to be answering my questions, which I got in the Q&A. I'm very excited to do this video. I'm sure a few of you out there, are probably a bit interested to see what answers I'm going to give. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who participated in this, who sent in questions. I really appreciate it. The questions were a load of fun. Unfortunately, I couldn't answer two of them because they were just too difficult, but when I get to them, I'll give my reason why. I'm not going to completely ignore it. I'm going to answer every question, apart from the odd one or two, as I said. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Also, I want to do a shout out to me, Mr. Man. I won your contest, obviously. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so grateful for the record as well. I'm super excited to get it. I'll have to send you a record back in the future one day. So yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. But anyway, let's get on with the questions. So here comes the first question. So yeah, I know they come up a bit quick on the screen, so what you might want to do is, when I put these questions up, you might want to pause the video and look at the questions. I don't want to leave them up too long, because I don't want the video to be too long. Okay, so the first question was, who is your favourite Beatle and why? My favourite Beatle is, even though John never done a bad song, my favourite Beatle would be Paul McCartney, simply because he's done the most. He's got the most music out there, he's got the most to listen to. The next question is, what is your favourite Beatles song and why? I go through stages. Sometimes Let It Be is my favourite, sometimes it's The Long Ride Around, other times it's Hey Jude. At the minute, I've been listening to Get Back a lot. So at this point in time, I'm going to say Get Back. Who is your favourite female artist? This was really interesting, because I've recently been listening to a few. Kate Bush is a close second. I've been getting into her a lot lately. But at the minute, I'm still going to have to say the female artist that I enjoy listening to the most. And that's Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. What album that you own has the most meaning to you and why? I'm going to say my dad's copy of A Hard Day's Night, because it's kind of like an heirloom thing. It come from, well, we presume my nan bought it. And my nan always says she's not a huge Beatles fan, but yeah, she does like some of their stuff. And, you know, I think it's got passed down to my dad, now it's mine, so that's really cool, you know. It's the first vinyl I ever played, and I used to play it quite a lot when I was younger. What is your favourite Madonna song? I'm not huge on Madonna, I barely know anything about her, to be honest, so I just had to go with the 3 songs I knew, and I listened to them all again on YouTube, and I just thought, you know, I like this one the best, and it's got to be Living on a Prayer. I barely know any of her stuff, I'm not a huge fan, so, yeah. Next questions now. Okay, so the first one was, what album in your collection do you have the most copies of? And that is with the Beatles. If you're including Meet the Beatles, the American press of it, where some of the tracks are changed. If you're not including that, then it's most probably tied with Rubber Soul or something else that I've got. But if you're including that album, Meet the Beatles with the Beatles, then yeah. What's your all-time favourite movie? This was really difficult. A few people have asked this question, but I'm still going to answer it again and again and again, because, you know. But anyway, my favourite movies are The Avengers, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Dark Knight Rises, the original 3 Star Wars films from late 70s, early 80s, The Italian Job. Yeah, I'd say they're my favourites. So I just kind of had to figure out which one I like the most. And the one which has the most story, the most depth, the most meaning, the best characters, and an awesome villain. It's got to be Dark Knight Rises. What's your favourite Beatles movie? It's always been A Hard Day's Night. I've always loved that movie more. It's always been my favourite. But recently, I've been into Help a lot more. I don't know why. It's just, you know, it's like everyone who likes the Beatles, I guess. They go through phases. They change their favourite song, their favourite album, and their movie. So that's what I've done here, and my favourite movie has changed. It's always been A Hard Day's Night. At the minute, I'm going to say Help. On to the next questions now. Yes, I knew I'd get one of my friends from school put in a question. What is your favourite Justin Bieber album? Don't like a single album, don't want to listen to him, don't know any of his songs, don't want to know him because I know I won't like them. I've heard little snippets of him on YouTube and stuff. Can't stand the guy, he's a prick. Sorry for the language, but that's my general opinion of him. Let's get on to a good question. So let's flick the page. Next up, what is the rarest LP you have? I have a couple which a couple of records which I think are worth around the 200 mark. But I had to go with which one I think would most probably sell the best, and I'd say it has to be my copy of Rubber Soul. Original, I think it's a first press, stereo, British copy on the yellow Parlophone label. It's quite funny because it was given to me for free. So, yeah. Are the charity shops in your local area any good for vinyl? Some. Occasionally you get some good ones in there. Only once have I come across Beatles records. One charity shop I walked in once, and this bloke had obviously brought in a load of rare records, and they had a cabinet with Beatles, Stones and Beach Boys. I only bought one record. It was a mono Rubber Soul. But they're okay when you're going in there for like cheaper stuff like Elton and Billy Joel and stuff like that. Yeah. How did you get into vinyl collecting? Well, big Beatles fan. My dad said, hey, I've got some records you can have. I've got a few. There's a fly buzzing around in here, by the way, if you can hear it. I'm really sorry if you can. So I got my dad's Beatle records, and I was like, wow, these are great. I want more. And then, you know, my collection expanded from there. What was the first piece of vinyl you ever owned? Well, the first vinyl I ever got was the Beatles 20 Greatest Hits. And then very shortly after, A Hard Day's Night, which I listened to more. But the Beatles 20 Greatest Hits was my dad's record, and that was the first vinyl I technically ever got. The first one which I bought, though, was a American Let It Be on the Red Apple. I got it for about 16 quid or something like that. Which album would you most like to have on vinyl which you don't already? This was really difficult because there's a lot. There's some new ones I want to get, like Eric Clapton's The Breeze, Eric Clapton Unplugged. There's a Ringo album, I forget what it's called, but there's a rare Ringo album out on vinyl. But yeah, the one which I really want to get, it came down to Electric Light Orchestra, their first album, and The Who's Quadrophenia. And I thought, okay, which one's worth more? Quadrophenia. So I'll say Quadrophenia by The Who. Next questions now. Okay, so have you heard the band Sparks? If so, what do you think of them? I have heard of the band Sparks, and I think they're a pretty decent band. I wouldn't put them in my top 10 or anything, but they're definitely a good band, and they're a band which I'd recommend. So, yeah, I like them. What popular rock band is your least favourite? So I sort of come up with a list with my dad the other day, because my dad was helping me with these questions earlier. It was great, but going through them together. And we come up with about 6 or 7 popular bands which I like. Which included the Beatles, the Stones, ELO, Queen, the Who, the Kinks, and the one band which I'm never quite connected with. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy some of their stuff, but about half the hits are enough. Even though I do buy their records because I'm a completist. Queen. I'm sorry, I mean I do enjoy some of their stuff, but I just get fed up with them. It's just my opinion. Do you follow Paul McCartney's solo career? Of course I do. I love Paul's solo career. I love all of his albums, even his dodgy Driving Rain. I still can get on with it. I know some people out there can't, but I personally can. So yeah, I do really enjoy McCartney's solo career. Next questions now. What is your favourite Beatles song? Well, as I said earlier, I go through stages. At the minute, it is Get Back. What is your favourite movie of all time? As I said earlier, Dark Knight Rises. But of course there are a lot of other movies which I'd rank very similar. What's your favourite food? This was a really good one actually. In my local area we have this really nice pub called the Wheelwrights. If any of you ever come down to England, you come by Cheshunt, Hertfordshire. Go check it out. It's called the Wheelwrights. Just type it in on Google, Hertfordshire, the Wheelwrights. It's not very busy, it's not a popular pub at all. But they do this dish which I love, lasagna. In a bowl, nice pile of chips on the side. I like chips, but I also really like salad. So you've got a nice little bit of salad on the side. So I just love it. Beautiful, beautiful dish. What is your most prized record in your collection? Like if your house was on fire and you could only save one. And then I like what you put on the end there. God forbid it that happens to you, brother. But if it did, what one would I save? I'd probably go with the Rubber Soul because it's the rarest and it's the one that I'm least likely to get back. But a close second and third would probably be my copy of A Hard Day's Night, mono, and Chaos and Creation by Paul McCartney. Next questions now. What is your favourite John Lennon song? Me and my dad, when we were going through these for the first time, because I was on holiday, and we had no internet, so I couldn't see any of these questions. So the first time I saw them was literally a couple of days ago when I was sitting there with my dad, and then we both looked at this one, we both looked at each other and just went, Imagine. It's got to be. I mean, I know John's done some other great stuff, like Woman, just like Starting Over, Watching the Wheels. You know, they're close. They're definitely in my top 5, them ones. But Imagine is the all-time top John Lennon song. Even if they overplay it on the radio, I don't care. It's just a fantastic song. Magical song. Brilliant. Would you rather have officially released, Let It Be DVD or an officially released Beatles cartoon series box set? What one am I likely to watch more? That's what it came down to for me. And that's why I went with the Let It Be DVD. Who do you like better, The Who or ELO? This was one of my favourite questions because it was so difficult. Me and my dad literally sat here for ages again. You know, 2 questions in a... or the John Lennon one and this one, we both were just like, oh, great questions. But this one, we sat here for ages. And it came down to, I pretty much like them the same. If I done a top 10 list, they'd be right next to each other. Maybe, you know, 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th. They'd be right next to each other. So it comes down to which one do I listen to more. I'm sorry to say it, but it's ELO. I do listen to them more, so I am actually going to say ELO, but there's nothing in it. There's barely anything in it. What is your most favourite Beatles compilation album? Gotta be Beatles 1, because it covers everything. Next questions. Okay, so if you had one, what would be your favourite Elton John album / song? Well, album's easy, it's got to be Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And song, you know, I really wanted to go with a song off Yellow Brick Road, so I'm going to go with one. And I love Saturday Night's Alright. This song has no title. Grey Seal. Just trying to think of another one I love. What's it? I can't think of the name of the other song I love. Hang on. I know it's near the bottom. Roy Rogers, that's it. Roy Rogers is Riding Tonight. Turn on the TV and shut out the light. Love that song. But I'm actually going to go with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Love the album, love the song. How many American pressed records do you have? 17. Is it difficult to find American pressed records in the UK? It generally depends on what artist it is. Beatles ones, yes. To get Capital Rainbow ones, they are quite difficult to find. I have had to buy all my Capital Rainbow ones off eBay in the past. And I'm not a big fan of buying off eBay anymore, so, you know, it's kind of difficult to get them. What do you love most about collecting vinyl? I think they're just great to listen to. They're great. You flip them over, you put the needle on instead of just going insert. You know, it's great to just put the record on, flick the needle on, you know, just let it spin, flip it over a bit later, you get the odd little crackle and stuff. I quite like a little bit of crackle when I'm listening to it. Also, they look a lot better. I mean, instead of having some teeny little CD thing like this big, you get a nice big album, you know, great. They're just a lot more fun. Why did you decide to join the vinyl community? Because mainly I wanted to talk about my collection. I wanted to talk about what I'm interested in. I wanted to interact with some great people because I think this is the best community going, definitely. I mean, so many fantastic people in this community. And also I like showing off my records. So next question's down. What is your favourite Status Quo album? Hello. What is your favourite... favourite Quo song? I mean, this was a bit difficult. I had to go over a few songs here. I had 3, which I really liked. But the one which sticks out to me is Roll Over, Lay Down, definitely. Least favourite Beatles album? Yellow Submarine. But if you want to make it a bit more fun and not include that one because it's half George Martin, if we want to chuck that one out the way, I'll say With the Beatles. Favourite video that you've made? This was a really cool question. I really like this one. I'm going to have to say it's my Liverpool video. When I went to Liverpool and I've done some filming of what I saw there. I'm going to Liverpool next weekend again, so hopefully I'll have another video up like that next week. Favourite artist from 2014? I was talking to Morgan on Facebook the other day. Oh no, Skype. FaceTime even. Get there eventually. And he said he meant... favourite modern artist, really. So, it was between the Arctic Monkeys and Jake Bugg, and I'm gonna have to go with the Arctic Monkeys. Okay, so on to next question. The first question here: if a supergroup of 5 singers, musicians started, must be alive, who would you want to be in it? Very good question. Really enjoyed it. It was quite difficult coming into it. The obvious 2 which I'd want in it would be Paul McCartney and Jeff Lynne, because they're just amazing. So we got 2, and then I thought, okay, let's not think singers, let's think who's good at what. And I thought, okay, Eric Clapton on guitar, 3rd member. Well, it's nice to have a bit of piano in there. Who could we have on piano? Billy Joel or Elton? Which one would I go for? I think I'd go Billy Joel. And then drums, screw it, put Ringo in there. So, yeah, there we go, there's my 5. What do you think of Paul McCartney's Fireman projects? I love them. I haven't heard Strawberry Ocean's Field or something like that the whole way through. I'm not 100% caught up on it, but I quite enjoy it. Electric Arguments, I love the album, love it. And I can't remember the other one he done, to be honest, but I remember listening to it, and I did quite enjoy it. What are your top 3 rarest records? My original stereo, Rubber Soul, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, and then, number 3, I'd most probably go maybe my Mono White album. And then what do you think to Rodriguez? I haven't really heard of him, to be honest. I'm not sure who he is. I really wish I could give you a proper answer, but unfortunately I can't. And yeah, what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to end the video there, because I've got 8 pages and I've only just done page 4, so we're about halfway and the video's already at 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to end the video, part 2. Be sure to check out part 3 if your questions haven't been answered, because I am going to go over everyone. Don't worry, your questions will be answered in the next video. So thanks for watching, and be sure to go over and check out part 3 even, sorry. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe, like the video. Catch you later.